you when we award the most influential client. All right, so let's now move on to the show. Gentlemen, may I please hand me these cards, Lawrence and Mice. Okay, so we're gonna play a game called Never Have I Ever. So of course, this definitely brings out memories from college, or does it? Sir?
That's far back.
So I'm sure we all know how it works, but for those of you who are still not familiar with it, so I will ask a series of questions to our pillars, our technical experts, and they will either answer I have or never. Okay? So, of course, you can choose to explain yourself or not explain yourself. I don't know which is better, not explaining or explaining. Okay, so let's have a sample question. Okay, so never have I ever invested in the US markets. The answer is never. And okay, I guess we have the point, huh? Again, if you have any comments, please feel free to comment down below or ask it through Slido. Okay, let's have the first question is, never have I ever lost sleep because of my investments.
Lost sleep.
Lost sleep. A lot of sleep. So I guess we're learning from experience here. So, gentlemen, care to explain? I mean,
I think everybody loses sleep over. In fact, I dream about charts, so even when I'm sleeping, I'm even thinking about it.
I think it's pretty straightforward, right? Especially when you're starting.
Right.
Especially when you're starting,
Yes.
when you have no system, and and it's just like it's the same as just like a coin flip.
Right.
Hindi ka talaga matulog.
I think also you want to build yourself to have a certain level of confidence in what you do, and if you're quite comfortable with your trading system and you know that you're quite prepared with whatever it is that you've done for the day, that level of comfort will come back to you later on, and I think you'll probably be sleeping much soundly later on if you have that, rather than you take a shot in the dark and you're praying to the high heavens that your IRC or LPZ will happen. Right, so bring yourself to that level of comfort, and then you'll sleep much soundly, and the profits will grow.
All right. So I remember also, Hannes, you shared before that you never get into the trading day unprepared. Meaning before it opens, before the bell rings, you already know your trades.
Yes.
But of course, if you talk to other people when you pass them through lunch, sometimes doon pa lang sila nagkakaroon ng ideas in their heads and they start trading.
That's what we call higop.
Higop.
You get sucked into a situation where you can't control because it just looks exciting that you can't close your eyes and say, this is not for me, I'm not prepared for this.
Right.
But instead you watch a ticker so closely and say, oh my god, everybody's buying that except me, and I'm drawn into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Ego. Or FOMO, you know?
Or FOMO.
Right.
So it's really tough because especially when in our situation when you have traders that actually participate in individual issues and they make decisions on the fly.
Right.
What happens today is that a lot of what we do is our prep time is so much longer than actual execution time. So even if you notice, most of the time I write in the evening.
Yes.
And the reason why I write in the evening is because I'm actually reviewing what I need to do for the next day. So that's why I write in the evening. So I'm hoping that at the same time when I write in the evening, you guys can also prepare earlier. Because if I write in the morning, by the time you read it, the market's open already. So actually I didn't give you guys enough leeway to be able to prepare. So.
Well, thank God for Lawrence. Now I can sleep.
Fantastic. Okay, for me it's a very particular example. I tried to buy Ayala when the downturn was ending. And you know that day when the GDP was announced, it was lower than expected. It was only at 6%, I think, or lower than expected. And Ayala just turned from 980 to around 930. Man, I really lost my sleep there. So again, the question is, how do you deal with stocks like that? I mean,
every one of those is a learning moment.
So I have my journal actually. I have my journal. Okay, so moving on, let's ask our next question. Never have I ever earned so much in a stock but end up completely losing it. Losing everything that you've earned.
Wow, okay ka.
Hindi naman ako masyadong kumita. Hindi pa ako masyadong kumikita malaki. So,
Okay ka.
lumalabas naman ako. Okay. Can you explain or can we move on to the next question?
I think everybody will go through that. I mean,
I
if you don't learn that side of the market, then you're not completely equipped to deal with these unfortunate events, right?
Oh my God.
And being human is part of what we have to be able to train ourselves to be able to counter. But then, yes, I've made such a huge amount of money only to lose it even in the same day sometimes.
Same day?
Oh, yeah.
Lawrence, how much? Percentage.
I mean, that's a harder question.
Percentage. Not the amount.
No, I mean, I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I talk, even on the Kilum shortstops. But this is one of the on one of our podcasts was really I lost my pants in 2007, 2008. Right. So I lost, I think, 90% of my portfolio in 2007, 2008. And here's the thing. I turned 800,000 into 10 million in 2.5 years.
Wow.
And I turned 10 million to 900,000. So it's equivalent to basically bombing another account. I look back, I'm 100,000 pa naman ako after it completely bombed my portfolio at that time. And it's partly because I didn't have a system and didn't really understand what I was doing at that time. Right? So we always talk about education, why education is so important. Because if not for Juanes, me learning from Juanes all those years, he shortcut a lot of the things for me. Right? So these are the mistakes that he made, thankfully he made, that I didn't have to make anymore. Because he's already shortcut these things for me. I don't need to reinvent the wheel then.
I guess my question to you, Juanes, is how does one recover from such a setback? Meaning, you've tried, you've studied, you've prepared for your trade, you earn so much, and you end up losing it the same day. How do you, just how? I'm sure.
I'll tell you what I did once. I shut my computer down. I took a 3-day vacation to Boracay. Stuck my head in the sand and realized, what I had to learn that hard lesson, and I had to accept it. Even when I landed, I couldn't believe I lost that amount of money, but I had to. When I came out of there, I was more refreshed. My mind didn't dwell on the problem, and my mind was more on how to make money back and how to move forward from here. Being a little bit more enlightened from such craziness that I've put myself into. And that's what every loss has to be, a learning lesson, like I said.
Yes. All right. And certainly, Boracay helps a lot in trying to clear that. Okay, so next question. This is a bit controversial. Never have I ever invested in a basura stock.
Invested? Wait, invested? Invested. Keyword invested.
Waiting for what he needs.
Everyone has bought into a basura stock. So
participated
in a basura stock. So, sir, what are these?
I'm human, alright? I'm human.
So I know.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about basura stocks, it's not even just one. It's a lot of times because that's what we do on a day-to-day basis is really trade, and sometimes we just try to take as much activity as we can in the short term. So remember what I said is invested versus participated. There's two different things, right? What we do is that we don't invest in penny stocks, right? That's not. There's no way that I'm going to be able to hold this for 6 months to a year trying to see what will actually happen, whether the
You notice he's using the invest word. Right? As
against trade. Against trade. So when we're trading, we trade the penny stocks all the time. We participate. We try to take as much moves in terms of magnitude that the stock is giving us, right? So if the stock gives us short-term momentum setups, we're definitely going to be there. Right, but the thing here is that if you're going to ask, we're going to invest in penny stocks. That one is never
never invest in penny stock. But this is para sa tingin ko parang medyo issue to ng mga clients natin. So since they're getting in there, nevertheless, how do you suggest they do this? I mean, what rules should they follow? Meaning, how is it possible for us to safely engage in basura stock picking?
Safely, probably not, because what comes with those small caps is volatility.
Okay.
And if, for example, it's easy for you to make a 5-10% swing, let's say in a couple of days because of that, but you can easily lose that back.
Right.
So with regard to safety, safety does not come with small caps.
Right.
Okay. Now, it is possible remotely that a very, or what you call basura or small cap stock can one day become a nice big company.
Right.
But it's very rare that happens, and there's a long process of moving up before that actually happens.
Okay.
Right? So I think what you have to do is really know what your technical conditions are before you buy them,
Right.
and know your size. Because the issue might be so small. For example, you want to toss 1 or 2 million in a stock that only trades, let's say, 5 million in a day.
Oh.
You buy _1 million out of that, and you're 1/5 of the entire market.
Right.
For you to
Right.
get that
Right.
and sell it tomorrow, you'll probably dump that easily 5% downwards, and you'll be the influence on the downside. So
Right.
you got to know yourself, you know your technique, if
Okay.
you're going to be doing that.
Right.
That way, you have a parachute and you need to pull it, you know how to pull it.
Right. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I think this is the last controversial question, because we've noticed also in social media or in other channels that they like to post their gains. Nahuli ko to. Ito, okay to. This is a good stock. But as they take a screenshot of their portfolios, naka-redact.
Okay.
Nakamura yung ibang portfolio nila and just highlighting the winner. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, in parties, we talk about these things, but have you ever had this experience where you spoke to a person about a stock that you bought successfully, but your entire portfolio was actually losing?
The entire portfolio was actually losing?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm also guilty of this, but sure. Okay.
No, I don't see that because I kind of open book with the way I do things inside. And my trading principle, you don't want to be able to do that, because I feel that if you're a trader who's just learning how to do this,
right,
and you start this with a sham, and you're not being, all you're doing is fooling yourself. Right? What are you here to? Are you here to make money? Or are you here to impress other people?
Yes, yes.
Right? I mean, I'm here to make money.
Right.
And I'm not here to impress anybody else, because that's not going to make any money for me.
Right.
So what's the whole point? Like, if you're one of those who'd rather impress people than what you do, and you say redact your portfolio, only show the winners and not the losers. I don't know. I mean, what kind of trader you'll end up being there.
But I guess for me, it also tries to give you some sort of validation that you're doing the right thing. I think that's the reason why you want to tell people about the good trades that you had. Right? So for me, I'm just starting out with all this trading, and I want, of course, to feel good about stocks that I'm only human. So there, for me.
So Lawrence, what do you have to say about that?
Actually, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's never happened. Right? I mean, when I look at trading today, quote unquote trading today, trading isn't about making money on one stock and hitting the jackpot on one stock. Right? So the best traders I have on the team are those guys that continuously can replicate things the trades that they make every single time that they see it. It's not because they got lucky once and then that was it, right? So for me, it's not about the actual profitability. So when you look at profitability, profit is a byproduct of what you're doing every single day. Right? So it's being able to replicate these trades over and over again, rather than focusing directly on the P&L. Right? So whenever I'm working with traders all the time, it's so they'll come to me and say, we always have what we call BWT, best and worst trade, for a week. We do that every week.
Okay.
So whenever I look at their best and worst trade, sometimes they'll come up with a trade. My best trade was this stock that I bought, and then it got upgraded and it's up 20%. Right? And then I look at them and says, this is something that I needed you to be here, or is that you just got lucky on the trade? This is a trade that you can replicate, right? So sometimes we get so so engrossed with how much we made on a specific trade that we don't realize that I could never have replicated this trade at all. I don't know when this stock's going to get upgraded. Sinuwerte lang eh. Diba? So, for me,
Can't beat luck.
Right.
Oh, but it can be luck, of course. And luck is always great, diba? But it's not something I cannot bank on.
Right.
Diba? Especially when you're going to do this all like this is over time. I'm not going to bank on getting lucky. There's just might as well. It's equivalent of going to a casino, right?
Yes.
So, for me, I don't talk about, and not anymore, right?
Yes.
I don't go out and check out Huli Kuto or whatever it is. That's not, that's not. I know. But if you're asking whether I've done it before, of course, of course that's happened. We're all human. We're all human.
Okay. So last question. I think we've sought the necessary qualifications for this question. So not hearing them talk. So that's one. Last question. Never have I ever used a broker other than COL Financial for my local transactions. When I was starting, guys, long time ago, I actually started with BPI Trade because the account opening for COL was 30,000 pesos. I only had 5,000 pesos. So guys, I couldn't afford COL before. But now, it's only 5,000 pesos. Fantastic.
That's not true. We never had 30,000. Seriously? Tell me who that agent was.
I wanted to be part of the COL family way back in 2001, but I couldn't afford it. Honestly. So I went to BPI and then they, after like a week of account opening, they opened my account. So there. I'm sorry. Alright.
Lawrence.
Okay. I have the reason why I flipped is because I actually don't have an account with COL Financial.
Oh,
it's because no, I am not legally allowed. Because I actually don't work for. Sorry, guys. For those who don't know, I actually don't work for COL Financial.
Right.
I work for City Securities. So COL Financial is CitySec Online. I work for CitySec Offline. Offline. So I work for City Securities. So my account's actually with City Securities, not COL. But yeah, so that's why it's actually this.
All right.
Just my regulators will see.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for the Never Have I Ever. Thank you, gentlemen, for participating.
For that interesting exchange.